Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel for our first match day live stream of the season. Our first alternative commentary as Manchester City go to the Amex Stadium and take on Brighton. It's good to see some people already in the live chat. Oscar Bobbing is here and he's got his Oscar Bob 25-26 Manchester City home kit on right now, ready to watch the game. Come on, City. There is a vote in the live chat. You can vote for who you think will score first. 67% so far believe it's going to be City's number 9, Erling Haaland. Let's have a look at the two teams then, head to head. Starting off with Manchester City side that Pep Guardiola has been named with some big, players left out, but some pretty much enforced, aren't they? So there is no Phil Foden today due to injury, and there is no Ryan Cherki due to injury as well. Pep Guardiola said before the game that Cherki is expected to be out a little bit longer. It looks like it's not that simple of a thigh injury for Cherki. I think he's only been injured about twice in the last 4 years. He joined City and suddenly he's injured straight away. So this is Pep Guardiola's starting 11. This is in number order: James Trafford, Tajani Reinders, John Stones, Omar Marmoush, Erling Haaland. Rodri is back and starts. Captain Bernardo Silva. Reunite Nuri avoids injury in that game. In the previous one where he came off, he starts. Mateus Nunes starts. Kusanov starts. And Oscar Bob starts for Pep Guardiola's side. So that is all 11 for Manchester City. Let you know your comments in the live chat as well. Let us know what your score predictions are. Andrew's already back here, and he's gone with a 3-1 win for Manchester City. Let's have a look at the two sides head-to-head there in City in formation. So City will be playing in a 4-3-3. Edison is on the bench, but it looks like a move to Turkey, whether it be Fenerbahce now are interested in him, or Galatasaray will be a move away. He's joined the bench by Ruben Diaz, Nathan Ake, Jeremy Doku, Nico Gonzalez, Ilkay Gundogan, Manu Akanji also could be on his way out, Nico Riley and Rico Lewis. And look at that City bench. We're looking like we are really sort of missing an attacker in there for City. As for Fabian Hurtzler's side, he's got Jason Steele on the bench, Gruder, Jorginho Ruta, Milner, former Manchester City man of course, Bashagli, Kadioglu, Ayari, Matt Riley, O'Reilly, and also Capola as well. But Brighton, they start with Bart Verbruggen in goal. It's a back four of Joel Veltman, Paul Van Hecker, captain Lewis Dunk, and De Kuiper at left back. Hinchelwood partners Carlos Baleba in the midfield, with Gomez playing that sort of hybrid role between a more attacking role and defensive role. He will play, I think, the furthest forward of the midfield three. On the right, it is Yakubu Minte. On the left, it is Karo Mitoma. And right to the middle is from a Manchester United man, Danny Welbeck. Well, that United side looks pretty... Brighton side looks pretty strong. United side, well, United had a good day yesterday. They beat Burnley by 3-2 and celebrated like they'd won the Champions League. Not forgetting that they've been beaten by Grimsby in midweek. But yeah, Brighton, that's a strong side. I think the really worried areas are Baleba in that midfield. We know how good Carlos Baleba is. He's a player wanted by many clubs. And then Mitoma and Yakubu Minte in the wide areas are going to cause City's fullback problems, and City's fullbacks have to be completely aware of the problems that they can cause. It does mean that I'm more trusting about Euro against Yakubu Minte, I think, but Mateus Nunes against Mitoma, that is a little bit of a worry, isn't it? I think that is where some of the issues might start to come against Nunes against Mitoma. I'm happy that I think Rico Lewis doesn't start. I actually put out a pre-match sort of preview on Finalysis. If you haven't heard of Finalysis, it is a new app and it is the home of fans from the Premier League, and I think it will be from all over as well. He started out the Premier League this season. Fans Finalysis, for example, has already been discussed on Sky Sports. If you've seen it with Jamie Carragher, Thierry Henry, Gary Neville discussing it as well. And I am part, thankfully to say, and absolutely amazingly to say, of the starting 11 for Manchester City. I am one of the starting 11 representatives of Manchester City on Finalysis. Now, you can apply at finalysis.com. That way you can rate the players, you can make your opinions known on the team and on how you think Manchester City are doing. At the moment you have to apply, and I think it will be eventually opened up for everyone to do. It is a place though, and a hub for all you fans. Don't think it's just for a select few, just because I'm in the starting 11, it's just for me. It is going to be the home for all fans across world football. It's very, very exciting. And on that, I did a little pre-match review, or preview, and I said that Matheus Nunes has to start today. That was one of my key points. Nunes has to start ahead of Rico Lewis because Mitoma is absolutely fantastic. I was hoping that Ait Nouri would be fit. Ait Nouri is fit to start today. He was needed as well because without him, Manchester City could have been in some big trouble, couldn't they? Ait Nouri needed, Matheus Nunes needed in those fullback areas. And one key part of Nunes is that overlapping and underlapping runs. He's very, very powerful. And that is certainly needed as well. We will be doing a post-match review with player ratings, replicating and showing you what Finalysis is all about and the ratings that I'll be putting in on Finalysis as well. But the game is only 10 minutes away and it's going to be hopefully an exciting one. City need to get back to winning ways after a poor performance against Spurs last weekend. A 2-0 defeat. City really struggled in that midfield. Just couldn't handle the physicality of the Spurs midfield, the defence, the pressing. The Spurs put Manchester City underneath, and hopefully better today. Oscar Bobbing says, I'm happy with Bobby's playing, because I got a home kit with him on. I'm hoping he'd play much. Well, hopefully Bob does play a lot. Do you think he'll change his number, Oscar Bobbing? Do you think we'll see him change from 52 to another number? MK says, well done, deserved. Thank you very much, MK. And we'll see where this goes today. The game is around 10 minutes away from kickoff, and hopefully, like I said, we're going to see a big game. Other key battles in the game, of course, Erling Haaland in behind that defence. You know, when you see that Van Hecke and Dunk, I don't think they're the quickest of defenders, Veltman either. So if City can sort of identify those areas where Brighton will play with a high line under Fabian Hürzeler, they'll press City high. If Manchester City can then find those situations in behind the defence where Haaland can sort of peel off, make those runs in behind, and then we get sort of Reinders, Bernardo, Rodri looking to play that forward pass, because we've seen plenty of times Bernardo Silva in particular, who likes to maybe not play that pass the first time and go backwards. When he makes that running behind Erling Haaland, it's good to play that ball through. And Haaland can make those runs in behind. And I don't think it's a better situation than Erling Haaland running through one-on-one with the goalkeeper in behind. I hopefully, and I do think City will get those opportunities today. James Trafford back in goal as well. He starts despite a big mistake against Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, we'll say that the headspace of Ederson is not quite what City want at the moment, what Pep Guardiola wants. His head is in Turkey, perhaps, where it looks where he will be going. So Trafford starts again, but could Manchester City see a new goalkeeper coming in on deadline day tomorrow? Yes, it is. Transfer deadline day tomorrow. It's come round very quick. Oscar Bobinson, he hopes that Bob doesn't get a new kit number because he spent £90 on the kit. Yeah, I mean, that is one of the most frustrating things, isn't it, as a fan? Getting a kit and then the player changes the number. I mean, you can guarantee some won't, but I don't know. I think Rico Lewis may change his number before the 1st of September. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's a little bit too late to do that now. I'd be surprised if he goes into the season wearing number 82. However, there is reports that he's agreed to sign a 5-year deal. Maybe with the new deal comes a new squad number. That's exactly what we saw for Nico O'Reilly, who's taken the number 33 for the season. Kickoff is nearly upon us, and the Amex Stadium, where City sort of had one of our poorest moments really last season. One of our poorest moments, just playing poorly. I don't want to reminisce too much on last season because City need to put that behind them. But that was sort of one of the main areas of City's really poor run that saw us go on that, just, was it 15 games without a win? it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And it was very surprising. Very surprising that we lost that game against Brighton. I thought City actually, if you remember back, and I might have done a live stream for that one, City played really well to a point, and then the game was turning its head when Carlos Baleba come onto the field for Brighton. He absolutely changed the game for Brighton. He was unbelievable. And then Matt O'Reilly ended up scoring the winner. The defence was poor. I mean, Jemai Simpson-Pouze was playing in the back line. He's on loan to Celtic now. Things have changed quickly, haven't they? Reza asks, is Vardiel injured or something? I've got some bad news on Vardiel, Reza. He is injured. And there is, I've not posted it because I don't know if it's true, but there is some suggestions around his injury being something to do with a ligament injury. So, something to do with the ligaments of the knee or the calf, the leg, something in that is causing him problems. We'll have to see if that's going to be a problem for quite a while, whether it's a short-term injury. We're not quite sure what Pep Guardiola is going to do about that. Whether he's going to come out and say, listen, Vardiel's going to be out for quite a while. He's not spoken that. We know Phil Foden's picked up a knock. If you watch the game against Spurs, you'll know I was at the Etihad, that Phil Foden did pick up a bit of a knock in that game. He seemed to hold his ankle and seemed to be unhappy during the game with an ankle injury. And from there, I thought, oh, maybe Foden's injured. He played on, and I wasn't too worried. He's not in the squad today. Ryan Shaqiri has picked up a thigh injury, which is a problem as well. So the injuries are still coming thick and fast in the City side. And I think Joško Vardiel is another one that we might not see for quite a few weeks this season. Maybe after the international break. I don't think he's been named in the Croatia squad. I might be wrong on that one, but I don't think he has. But if he has done, then maybe he's not as far off as we think he could be. I mean, Reinier Neuer is named in the Algeria squad, which made me think, oh, is he fine again? Which they said, the manager said he's going to be fine, and obviously he starts today. So we'll have to see with those injuries. Savinho, I think, will be back after the international break. He's had an injury which coincidentally coincided with, of course, the link to Tottenham Hotspur. That's not worked out. He stayed at Manchester City. He's going to be staying at Manchester City, and hopefully he can be a big player for the future of the club. We know what he can do. But yeah, it's good to see Rodri back, isn't it, from his injuries? We know that injuries are really a big problem, this City team. We've had injuries pretty evidently big over the last few seasons, especially last year. The injuries hit us hard. I mean, the Rodri injury, the ACL, that sort of felt like season over there and then, didn't it? I was at the Etihad for the game against Arsenal where Rodri came off, and we could see it was a serious injury. His first start, actually, of the season, wasn't it, as well, after being running to the ground for the few seasons before. And there was a feeling amongst the City fans that could be season over. I thought that is season over, and then it was season over because after that injury from Rodri, City just couldn't get back to winning ways, to get back to the standard that we'd set ourselves before. The two sides in the tunnel come out now onto the pitch here at the Amex Stadium. Live from the Amex. Brighton in the blue and white stripes, Manchester City in what is an absolutely beautiful looking black kit in honour of City's, of course, black kit with the white cross on. That is a very classic kit from years and years ago. Yakuba Minte, he is at the back of this line alongside Carlos Baleba. Two players who are really fantastic. Big signs for Brighton. And the big question with Brighton, I suppose, is the signs they have made, which have been really good. I mean, they haven't made any particularly poor signs. Is how long can they continue to do it, Brighton? The scouting department has got a lot of hits, hasn't they? I mean, they're sort of low-risk signs. If they do miss, it's not a matter. Doesn't matter too much. You think of a Manchester City, if we go and sign a player for 50 million or so, and that 50 million player doesn't quite work out, then that's a big hit on City's transfer budget. Brighton are making these transfers at, between 5 and 10 million, aren't they? And turning them into 50, 60 million pound players from that, making big profits time and time again. And that has been working really well for them over the years. And they've actually brought in a few players to the youth system as well. I mean, Jack Hinchelwood, who was sort of identified as Roberto De Zerbi as a player that's good enough to play for the starting 11 at Brighton. He's played full back, he's played left back, he's played right back, and now he plays in more of his natural position in central midfield for this Brighton side. And Diego Gomez as well was brought in, wasn't he, he was brought in from Inter Miami, so a signing from MLS. They pick up players from here, there and everywhere, don't they, Brighton, really? You're never really quite sure where they'll make the next signing. And the question is, why don't other clubs make those risks as well? Why don't Manchester City sign some of those players before Brighton do. And I think my idea with that would be that why would Manchester City take a risk on a player for 10 million when they can sign the finished article, or nearly the finished article, once he's had Premier League experience and played really well at Brighton already? I think that's the way a lot of big clubs do feel. You let the sides like Brighton and I don't know, West Ham, teams like this, Bournemouth, who have been absolutely robbed of their backline this season, you let them make the signings, you let them do well, and if they do well, then you go and sign them anyway, and it doesn't matter too much. We know the City side, we know the Brighton side. Two teams on the field ready for kickoff here in Premier League match day 3 for Manchester City. 3 points from a possible 6 so far, looking to get back to winning ways today. Queen asks what are the chances, or Queen T asks what are the chances of Ederson leaving. Currently, I would say pretty high. From what we understand, there has been a €12 million bid from Fenerbahce. There's been a €10 million bid from Galatasaray. Manchester City have said, listen, we want €15 million. I think it'll get done for probably a little bit less. And then it will be decided whether he goes to Fenerbahce or Galatasaray. But I expect there's about a 90% chance of Ederson moving to Turkey. The yellow goalkeeper kit is clean, says Oscar Bobbin. Yeah, that's another new one that City have brought out alongside the pink and green kits. Handshake between Fabian Herzler and Pep Guardiola on the sidelines here. Manchester City versus Brighton, match day 3. And we're going to have kickoff in a few moments or so. If you are slightly ahead of us, by the way, because of course I've got to send this information to some satellite somewhere, then back down to YouTube and back to you guys, then of course we might be a little bit behind, so no spoilers if you don't mind. That would be amazing. Otherwise, you do ruin the experience for a lot of people. Underway then. City versus Brighton. Off we go. The kit is not on the website, says Oscar Bobby. That's interesting. No, James Trafford here. Confident at the start of this one, as he sends a long ball forward, and his distribution, which left a lot to be sort of hopeful of, really, just was very poor against Spurs. He's there again. Kicks it all the way to Brighton goalkeeper Verbruggen. Well, they'll play it from the back as well, Brighton. They play a high line. They play a certain way, don't they? Fabian Herzler's side. Very attacking football. Here's Captain Lewis Dunk, pressed by Erlingkar, clipped into the middle here towards Baleba, who flicks it up onto Bernal Silva off the hand. They say no handball. Reinders tries to work it wide. The Kuiper picks it up. Away towards John Stones, who flicks it on towards Kusanov. And he goes back to goalkeeper James Trafford. Well, Brighton press Trafford with Mitoma. I think there is some sort of intention. There is, Brighton have sort of seen that game against Spurs, and they feel they can get at James Trafford today. They can find problems in James Trafford's game, and they feel like they can maybe, cause City problems through James Trafford. A lot of clubs will identify Trafford as a weak spot in the City side, unfortunately, and that is going to be a problem for City, I think, this season. I really do, with teams knowing that he can be a real big mistake maker. Kusanov. Here's Tijani Reinders here off this left-hand side. Wide left to Ryan Aït-Nouri. Rodri. In towards Kusanov. Of course, Gianluigi Donnarumma could be on his way to Manchester City. Not a goalkeeper who's fantastic with the ball at his feet either. Probably at a level of Old Trafford. Marmoush around the corner towards Aït-Nouri. Drives forward here, Ryan Aït-Nouri. Great feet by the left footer. Flicks into Marmoush. He comes off a Brighton player back to Marmoush. Marmoush here. Reinders. Onto Stones, who's stepping very high up here. City's defence is very high. Looking to be involved at the edge of the box, passing the ball around. Nunes. Reinders. Rodri. Mateus Nunes again. Gomez into Rodri. He wasn't quite happy with that. Oscar Bob. And behind to Mateus Nunes. Looks to cross it. It's blocked by the Brighton fullback, the Kuiper. And out for a throw-in on that far right-hand side. Mateus Nunes. Throws it into Oscar Bob, who started all 3 at the start of the Premier League season here. Nunes back into Bob, who can't quite control it. Pressed by Bob on Hinshelwood. It's off Bob and behind for a goal kick. Hinshelwood under pressure there did well. Kept his nerve, kept his calm. Good pressing by Oscar Bob as well. He's a bit of a pressing machine, isn't he? Oscar Bob. Something City liked last season. And I think it would have been a real breakout season for last year for Oscar Bob if, obviously, he didn't have that unfortunate leg break injury that kept him out for pretty much the full season. Long and away by Bart Verbruggen here for Brighton. John Stones wins the header ahead of Mitoma. Reinders down to Bernardo Silva, who can't control it. And Bernardo falls over here. Free kick goes Brighton's way. Bernardo, bit of a mistake there. He slipped as he was bundled into by Hinshelwood. Hinshelwood then fell over Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva's cameo against Spurs was torrid, terrible, and just, well, you know, he ruined the game when he came on. City's creating it was completely gone. It's a poor pass here by Lewis Dunk. It's out for a throw in for Manchester City on the far side. That is a very poor by Brighton. Captain Lewis Dunk, lack of concentration. Passes behind players and gives City possession back. Kusanov, Bernardo, John Stones. Reinders. Smashed into Reinders here. And they play on and Welbeck works it wide in. Kusanov flying in for a sliding charge on Yakuba Minte. And it's going to be a throw-in for Brighton. But down here is Gomez, who's really hurt himself. Well, Tajani Reinders plays a pass. He's a little bit sort of slow to play the pass, Reinders. Gomez comes across in the process. And it's over the top of the ankle of Gomez. There's not much Reinders can do. He's passed it and Gomez has put himself in the way. Just as he passes the ball, Gomez just gets his foot in the way. It's down on the ankle of the Paraguayan. And that's a very, very painful one for the midfielder who's really struggling with that one from Tajani Reinders. Well, it wasn't intentional at all. As Reinders passes the ball, Gomez comes into the tackle. Or comes into the pass. And you know, everyone will know if you've played football. Once you've passed the ball, what do you do with your foot? You put your foot back down the floor. That's exactly what he did. Well, Fabian Hertzler says it should be a red card for Tajani Reinders. The thing is, it's not a tackle. It's not a challenge. It's just a pass. They want it to go to VAR here, Brighton. They want Tajani Reinders sent off. I don't think it's a tackle. It's just a pass. It's just a pass and Gomez gets in the way. I don't personally think it's a red card because of that. The referee's on a bit of a talk here down in England. I don't know if it's going to go to VAR, this one. But Reinders passes the ball. As he passes the ball, Gomez comes in. I think if Reinders hadn't got to the ball and sort of gone over the top of the ball and made a tackle, then it'd be different. But it's not a tackle, it's a pass. There's not a lot he can do about it, Reinders. It's not a tackle, it's a pass. It's just a pass from Reinders and Gomez gets in the way. I mean, he looks in a bad way at the left ankle. And he might have to be forced off, but I do not think that's a red card because of that. I'm sure Man United fans, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans will be on some sort of social media saying it should be a red card. And you can see here, Simon Hooper, the fourth official, is explaining to the Brighton bench, it's not a tackle. He's passing the ball and he's got in the way. If it's a tackle, understandable. I'm back. Hi, everyone. How is everyone doing? Ridai is back. Welcome back to the We Are City channel, Ridai. We have missed you on these live streams. I'm looking to do as many live streams as possible this season for the away games. Of course, the home games, I will be there at the Etihad. Veltman takes a throw in here towards Yakuba Minte. Marmoush across, another throw in for Brighton a bit further down near the corner flag to be taken by Joel Veltman. Chris is here as well. Welcome, Chris. Throwing for Joel Veltman now to be taken for Brighton. Throwing towards Yakuba Minte, well read by Ike Nuri, and cleared away by Manchester City's Rodri, and it's chased down by Haaland, who's got a bit of a history with Van Hecke, Erling Haaland. Those two had a few words, didn't they, last season? Even Pep Guardiola came on to have a bit of talking to with Van Hecke as his treatment of Haaland last year. Here's Mitoma under pressure from Nunez. I think that is a foul, just a throw into Brighton. Ridai says he's disappointed with the game against Spurs. Very disappointed, Ridai. I was at the Etihad and, yeah, very, very poor performance. Hopefully a good win today. Yeah, we're hoping that for Wales. Well, Gomez has come back on the field here. And he comes back on with his ankle heavily strapped. I think we might see him come off at Gruda because that does not look good for Valentin Gomez. It looks like there's going to be some problems here for the Paraguayan. It wasn't a nasty challenge, I wouldn't say, by Reinders. It looks it that way. But it certainly wasn't. It's just as he's passed it, he's followed through as they do. And it's completely followed through on Gomez's ankle. It's hit him high up on the ankle, which is a problem. And it will have been a very painful one. But there's not much you can do about it, Rangers. He's passing the ball. As he's passed the ball, he's got to put his foot down afterwards. There's nothing you can do about that. And the passes sort of fall through into the player. The ball in behind it by Brighton. They try to set off Kickoff Imminent, but it's overhit. And all the way through for a goal kick for Manchester City. Chance for Brighton there. As they try to make something happen. But this game is set off at a reasonably decent pace. City trying to, of course, come away with all 3 points. Looking for a much better performance than we saw in the last one. A chance for Erling Haaland here, and he rolls it right at the goalkeeper, Bart Verbruggen. That's poor by Erling Haaland, to say the least. Omar Mush picks it up. Just sends Haaland in behind. He's away from Van Hekke. And as he hits it, he just completely drags the shot. Really drags it. We've missed you in these lives as well, Ridai. Not seen you for quite a while. Oh, and Erling Haaland slammed into Van Hekke on the way through. Well, I said those two have a history. And the referee's just giving a bit of a talking to now. Haaland just walks away and Van Hekke slams into him. Same effort, says Chris. Yeah, I mean, Haaland gets played in. And he just rolls it. Verbruggen doesn't get any power in it at all. But Van Hekke and Haaland, they have a history. And they're showing it again today. As Haaland walks away after missing that chance, Van Hekke tries to wind up the big Norwegian. Verbruggen takes his time to roll this one out. Haaland presses him again. Verbruggen in towards Veltman, who can't control it. It's a throw in for Manchester City. Poor by Bart Verbruggen and Jules Veltman. Under pressure there. But keepers are forced to play it a lot quicker now, aren't they, with the new 8-second rule. A corner will be given to the opposition if they make a mistake. And don't keep it in the hands for too long. Here's John Stones. Reinders. Kusanov. Tajani Reinders. Back to Kusanov. In towards John Stones. City working it around the back here. Ridai says thoughts on Foden, who hasn't started yet and has been absent in 2 games now. Well, Phil Foden, Ridai, is actually injured today. He picked up a bit of an ankle knock against Spurs as he took that strike. If you remember the second half, late in the second half, Doku pulled it back to Foden, who hit one. And it was blocked really well by, I think it was Paulinho or Van der Ven. And when he was blocked, he hurt his ankle. He was down for quite a while. He continued in the game, but it seemed like he had a bit of a problem. And in the end, Phil Foden looks like he's picked up another ankle injury. Pressure by Marmoush on Veltman and give a free kick. Brighton take it with it. Van Hekke over the ball and behind towards Kickoff Imminent here. Reunite Nuri watches it behind for a throw-in. Well, it's a bit of an edge to this game, isn't there? There's no love lost between the two sides, Van Hekke and Haaland. Brighton manager's unhappy with some of the challenges already. That Reinders one, Rodri. Kusanov clears it away. Marmoush with a great touch here. Great speed by Marmoush. He's clattered into Marmoush late by Hinchelwood, a free kick Manchester City. And the referee has given it, much to the disappointment of the Brighton team. Hinchelwood goes sliding in there. I think Hinchelwood gets the ball initially, but he kicks Marmoush on the way through. We'll see it again. Kicks him and then goes through him again. Love the new graphics, says Chris. Thank you very much. Always trying to make it a little bit different every season. Yeah, Shirky and Foden are injured, Ridai. It is a bit of a disappointment. So, free kick City. Captain Lewis Dunk came across to have a talk to the referee about that one. Bernal Silva Kusanov. Rodri. Brilliant by Rodri. Just takes the pressure out of the situation and forward. Here's Reinders. Well, the new layout, you can see both teams head-to-head. I thought that may be a bit more neutral for you guys than purely just the City team. Oh, Nunes with a terrible touch here. He's given it away to Brighton. That's a big mistake by Nunes. Welbeck on the turn here. Oscar Bob trying to win it back for City. Welbeck. Hinchelwood miscontrols it, but he gets it. Baleba has his pocket picked by Marmoush. There's a counter City here. And Omar Marmoush tries to dribble his way through. Haaland can't get there. And Brighton control that counter-attack well and get it back. And Nunes has now slipped again here. He's having a bit of a poor time at the right side. He stood, slipped on the ball. He gave the ball away to Brighton. City went and won it back. Tried to go on the counter. Couldn't do. And he slipped again there, Mateus Nunes. Off the ball. Veltman. Baleba. Great ball out wide here by Baleba. De Kuiper in toward Mitoma. Against Nunes. Outside of the boot. Crossing by Mitoma. Could have taken his time. He decided against it. It's gone out for a throw-in. Tried to hit it first time. Mitoma. Crossed the box. The outside of the right boot. There's way too much on it. It's way too close to Trafford. You watched it sail past and behind foot. A throw-in for City near the corner flag. I knew he to take this one for Manchester City. Taking his time on the throw-in. Across the box here, Oscar Bob. That's a bit risky to Nunes and forward here. City in a bit of trouble there. City get away with it. Apologies if I'm a little bit behind. My connection dropped out for a moment there, but I think it should be back. Throwing for Brighton that left-hand side. Baleba's looked good in the midfield, but of course he has his weakness as well. He did a pocket pick by Marmoush a bit before. How's everyone's fantasy Premier League team looking, says Radite? Mine not very good. Oh, thrown by Brighton's poor. Bob tries to take it around Lewis Dunk, but it's a poor first touch. Well, Brighton have made some sloppy mistakes. And City haven't really capitalised on them quite yet. I think I've got about 2 points this week, Radite, in my fantasy team. And I think the highest is 95. Throwing for De Kuiper. Long towards Nunes, who takes on the chest Welbeck and Mitoma. On this far side, Mitoma runs the outplay. Throwing for Manchester City now. Stones leaves it for Nunes, who seems to be finding his role in the City side at right back. I think he's probably going to be our right back for the season. Maybe Manchester City look back towards Tino Livramento next year. You can join the league, Radai. There is a link in the community tab somewhere. Haaland takes it down here. He's been clattered into by Van Hecker. And a flying challenge by Van Hecker on Tajani Reinders. And that is a nasty one. Yellow card for Van Hecker in the opening 15 minutes. Sliding in on Tajani Reinders there. Over the top of the ball. Haaland's down injured. An ankle injury, it seems. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Van Hecker comes through the back of him and then he goes straight through Reinders as well. And it's a yellow card for Van Hecker for the tackle on Reinders. I think giving him back for the one on Gomez, which was a mistake, which was an accident. That one certainly wasn't by Van Hecker. And a yellow card for Brighton's number 6. And I think he was Brighton Player of the Year last year, wasn't he, Van Hecker? Erling Haaland just let the referee know. Well, Van Hecker on a yellow card now. He's in a bit of trouble with Erling Haaland. Van Hecker straight away across the Haaland. I mean, these two just do not like each other. Thoughts on City keeping Savio, says Ridai. My initial reaction when I found out that City wanted to sell Savinho, I was very disappointed. I come around to the idea of selling him because, yeah, he's not so good in front of goal. But if that comes, we've got one super player on our hands, and I'm glad he's staying around, really. I'm glad he's sticking around. I still think City might be lacking a winger, to be honest, or a forward. Here's Kusanov. Tries to dribble it forward here, can't do it. Giving it through to Yakuba Minte. Minte drives forward here, but it's won back by Rodri. Well played. Marmoush did really well there, working hard to trap back as well. Kusanov frustrated with himself a little with the pass that was cut out. Wide right hand side to Oscar Bob. Nunes. Stop the ball with the studs by Nunes into the centre circle to John Stones. Start the opening 3 games of the season here, Stones. How long will this fitness last? Kusanov. Back to John Stones. Under pressure. But you always feel confident with John Stones on the ball. You really, really do. Can always trust him in possession for City. Stones. On to Rodri. And back to James Trafford by City's number 16. Can Trafford showcase his distribution here? Bob's gone short. Trafford goes short to Rodri. To Bernardo Silva. And Bernardo Silva and Rodri are 2 deepest players by the goalkeeper at the moment. Wide right to Nunes. Back to Bernardo. Can we find those passes in the lines? Reinders is fine in position alongside Marmoush. Here's Kusanov. Aitniri bursts to the left-hand side. Rodri. Great play by Rodri again there. Really nicely done in towards Kusanov. Wide left to Rian Aitniri. Against Yakuba Minte, who plays sort of a wing back out of possession for Brighton, very defensively. Rodri, Marmoush. Reinders. A late one on Marmoush by Carlos Baleba. Marmoush stayed down, unhappy with that challenge. Renai says it's fine if Sevilla left for 80 million plus replacement me in Rodrigo, but I believe there's rumours that Rodrigo wanted to stay at Real Madrid. Yeah, I think if City could have got Rodrigo, and Spurs did say put 75 million on the table, we would have sold him, but I don't think that was ever going to happen. And I think City didn't really want to sell him in the first place. Rodri, wide to Aït-Nouri. Against Minte. Minte on down the ankle of Aït-Nouri. Referee says no foul on Brighton, counter it. Minte, bad pass. Bernardo away. Chance of Mitoma in behind it. Nunes is pressing. Mitoma! Big save by James Trafford. Big save from Trafford there in the counter. Aït-Nouri down the back of his ankle comes Minte. Referee says no foul, no free kick. Aït-Nouri back to his feet. On the counter, Minte gets a little bit lucky with a deflection. There's a ball in behind towards Mitoma. It's played on by John Stones. And a big save by James Trafford. The outstretched right hand of Manchester City's number one. Keep City in the lead here. I'll keep City level. We're not in the lead quite yet. Stops Brighton going into the lead, doesn't it? With a really good strong hand from James Trafford. Corner ball for Brighton. That was a very good chance there in the counter. Yakuba Minte, very creative. Created that chance there. Set things off on the counter. You know, took back into that right wing back spot. Won the ball off Aït-Nouri, then burst forward into the wide areas. Drove centrally, created that chance. Crossing by Mitoma. Near post head away by Matheus Nunes. Back in by Mitoma. This one's easy for James Trafford to collect. Trafford sends it long here and in behind towards Marmoush. Baleba's there. But Carlos Baleba heads it all the way back towards goalkeeper Bruggen. Well, City trying to, you know, hit them on the counter there, but it wasn't the best of passes from James Trafford. Looking forward quickly to Omar Marmoush, making those runs. De Kuiper. Here's for Bruggen. Long forward by Bart Bruggen. Towards Mitoma on that far side. John Stones wins the header. Down towards Bernardo, back into Nunes. Well played, City. Nunes back to Stones. He's a very much a trusted man in that City defence, John Stones. Nunes or Kusanov, whoever's Trafford will always go back to him. Trafford long and forward here in towards Oscar Bob. Bob flicks it wide towards Marmoush, who goes round the corner towards Aït-Nouri with a really nice flick. Mitoma on one side and Minte on the other, causing City problems offensively, but defensively they both do some really hard work as well. And Yakuba Minte is working very hard on this far right hand side. He gets back and takes the ball off Aït-Nouri again. Rodri, that's a fantastic ball in towards Oscar Bob, who goes wide right towards Matheus Nunes. And back to Oscar Bob, who went down there, but he's back to his feet. Bernardo Silva to Bob, but it's a poor pass by Bob. Bernardo wasn't ready for it and giving away. Hinshaw under pressure. Brighton play out of the pressure really well. Gomez, Welbeck, turns, head up. Wide they work it. Veltman should look like wide to Yakuba Minte now, which he does do. Minte to drive at Aït-Nouri. In behind to Veltman, read by Kusanov. And Aboukadir Kusanov, so quick, so physical, reads the game well. And he cut that chance out for Brighton there completely. Goal kick for Manchester City. We had all the possession, says Chris. Not doing much with it, and the usual poor attempt to take someone on gets dispossessed and they almost score on the counter. Same old, yeah. Bit frustrating at the moment that City have been making those mistakes. I mean, I did sort of say, you know, Brighton might score their first goal, their first shot on the counter. They haven't done. Their first shot on target. I'm surprised they haven't done, really. Kusanov. Poor ball forward by Kusanov. That's really poor. He goes and wins it out, puts it for a throw-in. He's frustrated with himself, Kusanov, you can see that. But I do think I prefer Kusanov over Ruben Diaz at the moment. I thought Diaz was particularly poor against Spurs. Form for the last 2 years hasn't been that what we expect from, you know, once a PFA winning player of the year centre-back. Veltman throws it in back towards Van Hecker. Lewis Dunk, the captain. Wide left to De Kuiper. Back to Dunk again by Brighton. They're very patient, aren't they, Brighton, in the build-up? They don't rush things unless they need to. Van Hecker in towards Gomez. Round the corner towards Yakuba Minte. Big switch of play by Minte in behind towards Mitoma is fantastic. He is having a great game. But Mitoma is offside. Well played, the City defensive line there. To step up when needed. to play him offside, but Kickoff Imminent, nice idea. Mitoma there, he should have just... City step up as the pass is played. Here is John Stones. Reinders. Tajani Reinders. Pressure here from Belabor. Very difficult man to beat in that midfield, Belabor. Well, so far, 56% of you think that Erling Haaland's going to score first. Could it be Danny Welbeck, though, for Brighton? Could it be Reinders? Could it be Marmouche? Could it be Oscar Bob? Rodri this far left-hand side for City. Rodri. Kusanov. Into Marmouche. Back towards Rodri and Kusanov and Bernardo Silva now. Bernardo with a nice outside the boot pass forward to Brighton. Nunes makes the most of it. Oscar Bob on the spin here. Bob for City. Bob into Reinders. Reinders to Haaland. Haaland shoots here! Should have given it to Marmouche. Drags the shot wide. That is nice football from City there. Really well worked attack. Brighton Nunes wins it. Into Bob who spins. Pirouettes. Makes his way forward. Into Reinders. Little layoff to Haaland. Should have gone to Marmouche or back to Reinders. Instead he goes for goal. And he drags his shot wide. It's the second time he's dragged a shot wide. I feel like he should have gone wide left. He had Marmouche to the far side of him. He's only had 2 touches today, Haaland. So far. Oh, forward by Brighton. Kusanov heads it down towards Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri's having a poor game. He's lost out to Minte here. Marmouche goes and wins it back. Fantastic play against Belabor by him. Bernardo leaves it towards Reinders. City attack again here. Tajani Reinders for Manchester City. Reinders back into Bernardo Silva. He's got wide left Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri the ball into the box. Could be in trouble here for Brighton. Aït-Nouri lifts it to Erling Haaland at far post. And Verbruggen saves it onto the post and away. What a chance that is. Nunes. Danger not over yet. Bernardo Silva. Step overs. Bernardo. Back out to Rodri. Rodri clips one again to Haaland against Van Hecker. Haaland with another header off the head of Van Hecker. No, it's behind for a goal kick. Well, what a chance for Erling Haaland that was at the far post. Great work by City. Bernardo works it wide to Aït-Nouri onside. He lofts it in the air to Erling Haaland, peeling to the far post. Thumping header. And Verbruggen just manages to keep it out. Could and should have Erling Haaland done better there. As it comes up in the air. Verbruggen with an outstretched right arm. It doesn't hit the post. In fact, he actually punches it into Lewis Dunk. And then as Verbruggen tries to scramble to get on the end of it, Dunk, the captain, clears it away. Kusanov has lost our header. Aït-Nouri goes and wins it back, and Minte swing all the way through to Trafford there. Bit scrappy at times there from City, but that move that we just put together there. Initially, I think if Aït-Nouri crossed it first time, he's got Oscar Bob peeling to the far post and waiting for the tap in. Whether Brighton would have cut out, I don't know. The pass anyway, the little lofted cross towards Haaland was still pretty good. It's a shame, didn't find the back of the net. Kusanov. Bernardo. Rodri. Over the top to Stones here. Confident as ever is Rodri. Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob. Pulled back here by Mitoma. Mitoma's just pulled the shirt of Oscar Bob and the referee says no free kick. Well, you can see you get a big chunk of the shirt. No free kicks as the referee. Interesting. City work it back around to Trafford. Rodri. Rodri the switch forward here to Aït-Nouri into space on the left-hand side. Brighton are in trouble. Aït-Nouri the run from deep. Rain Aït-Nouri. Kickoff Imminent, great defending again by him and out for a throw. I mean, Minte looks a real defensive quality player. I mean, he gets back and works hard and defends very well. Very, very well. Aït-Nouri's struggling to beat him at the moment. That was a good run, a good find from Rodri. Throw Manchester City. Aït-Nouri to take it. Right, Aït-Nouri takes his time here for City. Marmouche. Dealt with by Brighton, but it's behind for a corner. Corner Manchester City. Tajani Reinders across to take it. And City do have a new set-piece coach in James French, formerly of Liverpool. Can he make an impact on this side? Can he help us in terms of creating chances from set-pieces? An area that City have been pretty poor on for many a year. Rangers to take this one. Options, of course, in the box. In swinger from Rangers. Cleared away by Van Hecker. Marmoush at the far post. Goes the weaker left foot. And he leathers it up into the stands. An uncomposed finish by Omar Marmoush. Swings his left foot out. It's a difficult technique to do and to pull off. But he tried it. Into the stands by Marmoush. Frustrated with himself. I expect a lot of transfer news coming over the next few hours and so on. Because it is transfer deadline tomorrow. Bernardo Silva misjudges the header of the ball there. And the referee stopped the game here for a head injury to Rodri. See how he goes here, Rodri. Holding the jaw here at the Spaniard. Heads the shoulder of Valentin Gomez, and that's a painful one for Rodri. They've come on just to have a look at him. The jaw of Rodri that caught the shoulder of Gomez as he heads it away. A painful one. Dylan Carnes have a bit of a talk with the referee alongside Bernardo Silva. Darren England is saying to Rodri he's got to come off the field here. And I'm not sure what Darren Ingles is deciding to do. Well, City have had 5 attempts to Brighton's 1. City have had 2 on target. Brighton have had their 1 attempt on target, which was a good save from James Trafford. Well, there are other results from the Premier League as well. Forest 0, West Ham United 0. No goals between Nuno Espirito Santo's side and Graham Potter's team, Kusanov. Fights with it there, and I mean, Brighton get a bit lucky with a touch there. I think Erling Haaland should do better throwing himself to try and win that one, but he knows he's going to get clattered by the centre-back, so doesn't do. Poor by Brighton, the keeper can't keep it in. Throwing for City on the far right-hand side. Oscar Bob throws it into Mateus Nunes. They're still not letting Rodri back in the field, but they have now. Here is Reinders. Rodri. Stones. Reinders. Nicely done by City. Reinders slow in possession. He's caught out again there, but Brighton's pass by Mitoma forwards poor towards Gomez, and they give it back away to City. Trafford. Nunes. Under pressure from Mitoma. Well played, Nunes. Back to Bernardo Silva, who kicks into a Brighton play. Mistake by the captain. They pull it back to Minte here. On the chest by Minte. Heads it forward. Rodri down and away. That's really poor. Reinders down and away. That's poor from Bernardo Silva. Marmoush chases. Van Hecker under pressure here. Big mistake by Van Hecker. Perhaps to Haaland. He just gets away with it. Verbruggen very high up the field. Launched forward into the hands of James Trafford, who catches in his box there. Well, that was nearly a big mistake by Van Hecker. Nearly sent it through to Haaland. 1-on-1 with Verbruggen. Here's Kusanov. Reinders. Kusanov. Marmoush, Reinders. Ball behind to Ait Nuri. Just doesn't even make the run there, Rian Ait Nuri. Frustrating. Reinders trying to find him. Ait Nuri, no interest in busting forward. Getting that space in behind Minte forward here. Kusanov down towards Rodri. Handball by Gomez. Referee says no, they play on. Gomez outside the boot pass there. Cut out by City. Reinders bundled into by Belabor. Away by Kusanov. Bernardo forward again. Oscar Bob against Gomez. Gomez down towards the keeper. Back into Hinshelwood. Pressure from Oscar Bob here. Hinshelwood back towards Lewis Dunk. And back to Verbruggen. Neither side able to find a way through so far. Both sides having chances. A big save from James Trafford early on. Erling Haaland's forced a good save out of Verbruggen as well. And another poor pass by Brighton goes astray out for a throw for City on the far side. Van Hecker. Brighton have been pretty poor so far, says Chris, which is fine by me. Yeah, let's hope they keep it up. Throwing from Nunes down towards Rodri. And John Stones there as well. Stones for City. Looking for a bit of movement in front of him. City's players just stand stationary. Nunes, Bob, Nunes. Stones. Rodri. Kusanov. Pressed by Belabor. Marmoush back to Kusanov. Back towards Rodri. In towards Marmoush. Under pressure here from Minte. Skips away from him, Marmoush. Good play from Marmoush. Oh, and then the pass wide is really poor towards Nunes there. It's really poor from Marmoush. Good tackle by Aitnuri. Fantastic on Minte. Rodri back into Reinders. City go again here. Oscar Bob down this right-hand side. Nunes to the far side of him. Oscar Bob twists and turns. Bob into Marmoush. Can he get the shot off Marmoush? He just might do. Marmoush still. Haaland is there! And Erling Haaland scores. He's done it again. 57% of you guys were right. 23 votes Erling Haaland to score first. And Erling Haaland does score first. As Manchester City take the lead over Brighton here. Well, Brighton have given the ball away a few times. They give it away in after a fantastic sliding challenge by Ryan Aitnuri. And City start again. Rodri to Reinders on the centre circle. Oscar Bob. Little drop of the circle. Drop of the shoulder. In towards the D. Onto Marmoush. Gets a little bit lucky with his touches past Van Hecker. And he just pokes it through to Haaland, who is alive to the situation, who gambles, who accelerates at blistering pace, the big man. And pokes it past Verbruggen. What a goal by Erling Haaland. Good work from Marmoush, who tries to wriggle his way through a little nutmeg action, and Lewis Dunk pokes it through to Erling Haaland. And he nestles it into the left-hand or the right-hand corner. To Verbruggen's left. Just lifts it over. I think it might touch the studs of Verbruggen on the way through. 1-0 Manchester City, I have to say. That is a very, very good goal from Erling Haaland. Gambling on it. Looking to really get his goal. He does get his goal, Erling Haaland. City lead by 1-0. And the City fans, Blue Moon echoes around the MX now. Baleba forward. Rodri down. Reinders. Into Marmoush. Tackled by Veltman. Reinders picks it back up here. Reinders. Oh, unbelievable by Reinders. He's just nutmegged a player here. But there's something on the far side, a problem. And Matheus Nunes is down for Manchester City. And he can barely put his foot down here, Nunes. It looks like a bit of a problem for him. Well, it actually is a shame because Reinders there is spinning in the centre circle. Putting the ball through players' legs. Doing some really nice skill. The referee stops the game for an injury to Matheus Nunes. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Lewis Dunk's not happy. Well, then again, when is Lewis Dunk ever happy? It's a drop ball for City. I don't think Brighton can complain there. Reinders has just embarrassed 3 of their players in the centre circle. Reinders. Kusanov. Stones. Into Oscar Bob, who takes it well past from Hinshelwood, and he turns him, and from behind a tackle by Mitoma. Foul on Oscar Bob. Rodri just tells Oscar Bob to chill. Don't rush things here. Reinders for Manchester City. Aitnuri. Back to Kusanov. Reinders again. Rodri. Kusanov. You can start to see those patterns of play linking up between the new City players, can't you? I think Ryan Cherki would make a big impact on the City side as well, of course. Out injured at the moment. Looks like he'll be out for quite a few games. Trafford in towards Reinders. On the turn here, the Dutchman. Reinders skips past one. Into Marmoush, and he's taken out Reinders. Marmoush turns and continues. Marmoush still. And back. But there's a lot of challenges going in from Brighton. Rodri telling Reinders to get forward. Here's Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Stones. Oscar Bob. Likes to take the ball moving as well, doesn't he, Bob? He likes to look forward. He likes to make those forward movements. Rodri in the centre circle here for Manchester City. Looking to pick a pass. Wide left towards Kusanov. Marmoush and back to Kusanov again. Burst by Kusanov as City try and break down this Brighton side who press, and as we know, like we said, we've seen from Minte quite a lot in this first half. Defending very defensively, you know. Not staying forward, not gambling so much. Here's Rodri. Pressure from Welbeck back to Trafford again. Stones. Wide right to Nunes. Pressed by Lewis Dunk. Oscar Bob clips him behind to Nunes, who takes on the chest here, Nunes. Round the corner towards one, I think it was, I'm not sure who that is. Reinders it is, Oscar Bob, City get it back, because Brighton have been scrappy. Brighton have been very scrappy here. Rodri, poor pass by him into the centre area. Picked up by Minte. How looking to defend him and Marmoush press high. Rodri, Marmoush, City counter here. Oh my, Marmoush bursts forward here. Marmoush got to work it wide here to Oscar Bob. Marmoush, pass it! Oh, he should have passed it out 20 times here, Marmoush. What is he thinking? He makes a good run there, Marmoush. He's got Bob to the right of him. Bernardo to the left. Why didn't Marmoush find Bob then, says Chris? I have no idea. What is Marmoush thinking? Very greedy. Just pass the ball. You don't need you beat 3 or 4 players, release it. You don't need to beat 4 more. Hello everyone, says Sophie. Welcome to the stream, Sophie. Well, City's expected goals, 1.21. Brighton's is 0.04. See the difference there. Long ball out to Mitoma on this left-hand side. Up against Nunes. Good feet by Mitoma. Controls it. De Kuyper back to Mitoma. Here is Hinshelwood. Brighton forced back by the City. Body's getting back in defensive shape. Lewis Dunk. Hinshelwood. Van Hecker. Van Hecker here. Wide towards Minte. Cuts inside that left foot. Inside, a good pass towards Carlos Baleba. Baleba, brilliant pass wide. Onto De Kuyper, the overlapping fullback. Baleba on the edge of the box. City have got to be wary of that because we know he can hit them from range. Carlos Baleba. De Kuyper. Dunk. Back across towards Van Hecker and he's forced Ollie back to Verbruggen. Well played, Manchester City. Good pressing. Verbruggen goes wide and out towards that side towards De Kuyper against Nunes. He wins the header. Mateus Nunes, Oscar Bob. Bullied to the ball by Mitoma. De Kuyper. Shimmy the body by De Kuyper. In swinger from the right foot. Aitnuri beats Minte to it. Marmoush. Away to Rodri. City could counter again here. Rodri slows things down. He's dribbling against Gomez here. Rodri, and he's kicked by Gomez. I mean, how good is Rodri? Uses his body so well. I mean, the guy's come back from an ACL injury. There's a little bit of a wry smile there from Gomez as well. Just knew he couldn't get the ball away from Rodri. It looks like West Ham United have taken the lead against Nottingham Forest. Oh, there's a chance actually for Lucas Paquetá. It's pulled back to the Brazilian, who had a shot saved by Matt Sells. Paquetá, who could have been a Manchester City player, and he could still be on the move now, with interest from West Ham United, in the West Ham United player from Aston Villa. Cristiano is kicked by Yakuba Minte. Free kick Manchester City. Yeah, Lucas Paquetá linked with a £47 million move to Aston Villa. With I think a £3 million loan fee. I think it's an obligation to buy just so they can spread that money over PSR reasons. Here's Bernardo Silva for Manchester City. John Stones. Space up this right hand side for City. Stones, Bob, Rodri. Back into Bernardo Silva. I tell you what, we've missed Rodri. The guy's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Everything he does on the ball is just fantastic. Bernardo Silva. Stones. Bernardo. Reinders. Stones. City starting to work the ball quite well now. And it's starting to become a bit of a problem for Brighton. Rodri White to Nunes. On towards Bob. Oh, brilliant shift of the body by Oscar Bob. And in behind to Nunes. It's just cut out and behind for a goal kick. But really good play from Oscar Bob again there. He drops the shoulder on De Kuyper here. That seems to be his quality. He's not really someone who... I mean, the ball sticks to his feet, which is a high quality. But he's not going to, like, sort of stand the defender up and try and beat him for skill all the time. He's got that amazing use of the body. Amazing use of the body. And he drops the shoulder. The Kuyper goes one way and Oscar Bob goes the other and he's in behind. But the pass, unfortunately, to Nunes wasn't great. And it gets cut out. Taking his time here, Veltman on the free kick. Back towards Van Hecker. And back to Verbruggen. In towards De Kuyper. Pressure from Bernardo Silva. On to Mitoma. Nunes on him as well. City keeping that press on now. Brighton are going to have to be forced long here in a moment. Mitoma. Lewis Dunk can't go past the keeper, can he? He does do. Verbruggen under pressure from Haaland here. Oh, Verbruggen's giving it away to Marmoush in a lot of trouble. Marmoush. Aitnuri. Baleba on him. Aitnuri across the box here. Still got to it. Rodri on the wild volley. And he puts it over the bar. But City there creating something just doesn't quite work out. Haaland puts the Brig under a lot of pressure. He just slices it away. Straight to Omar Marmoush. Marmoush did well to keep hold of it. Let's see how close Haaland was to this one. Oh, he's maybe about millimetres away from putting that in the net. Erling Haaland there, off for Bruggen. Brighton creating their own problems, but trouble for himself. Their own problems. Ball forward here. Rodri clears it away for City. De Kuiper heads it back to Verbruggen. Well done, the fullback. But 43 minutes on the clock now. This game has flown by as we approach the end of the half. It's been a very good first half of football, really. But I think there is some confidence that Brighton get back into it. Some confidence certainly around that. We know that Brighton can do. They'll come out a different side in the second half. Nuri, battle Mijol Veltman here. Free kick goes Brighton's way. Veltman thinks that Nuri had hold of his shirt. Well, according to this manager, this referee Darren England, that doesn't matter. Ball forward, Nunes heads it away. Rodri straight to Welbeck. Minte. Ronaldo back to Trafford. James Trafford, no nonsense, clears it long and away for Manchester City. Up towards Van Hecke. Takes his time to get this one. Van Hecke. I doubt Brighton will be this bad in the second half, says Chris. Yeah, I think they'll be a lot better in the second half, Brighton. And I think that's going to be a problem for Manchester City. We need to make use of our chances, and that's great play from Baleba, and fantastic feet by Baleba. Then he tries to play a ball behind to Yakuba Minte. It's just a little bit too heavy. Minte can't get in the end of it. I think Herzl will have a lot to say to his team at half-time. Quite stylish as well, isn't he, Fabian Herzl? On the sideline. The beige trousers and long sleeve shirt. Looks like he's going towards sort of the MTV awards rather than refereeing, being a manager on the side of a football game. But that's how it is. Ball forward here to Haaland, who turns Veltman. He's pulled Erling Haaland down now by the shorts. Erling Haaland not happy with it. Veltman grabbing the shorts of Erling Haaland as he tries to run away from him. 3 added minutes here then at the Amex. Can City make it 2 before half-time? Stones under pressure from Mitoma. Oh, he gets away with it. Mitoma slides in on Stones. It's on the hands of Mitoma. It's a free kick City's way. John Stones unhappy with James Trafford there, saying to him, go long. Trafford giving it to Stones under pressure and nearly caught out. Here's Bernardo Silva. Kusanov. James Trafford. Across the Stones again. Wide right to Nunes. Back to Stones. Rodri. Reinders. Oh, fantastic feat by Reinders. Absolutely fantastic by Reinders there. He takes the ball under so much pressure on the edge of his own box. And he still takes it away from the Brighton player, and Hinshelwood has to pull him down. Puts it through the legs of Hinshelwood. So Hinshelwood just grabs his shirt and pulls him down. Now, when that happened to Oscar Bob earlier on in the game, referee said no free kick. Rodri. Bob. City play himself into trouble here. Bernardo Silva with a challenge on Welbeck. It's no free kicks to the referee. City play on. Bernardo Silva. Rodri. Wide to Rein Nuri. Pulled by Nuri's give it away. Now he's out of position in the space of Minte, and Kusanov comes flying in to try and deal with it initially. Minte in behind here. Trafford's come for it. Trafford with a header. Dealt with it. John Stones is not confident in James Trafford. But now Silva slams it behind for a throw-in. You can tell that John Stones has a bit of uncertainty around James Trafford. His decision making sometimes, I mean, he's a young goalkeeper, but it is frustrating. Veltman down to Van Hecke. Well, half-time between Forest and West Ham is 0-0. It looks like Manchester City are going to go in 1-0 up at half-time here. There's still around 30 seconds or so to go. Long ball forward by Brighton all the way through to James Trafford. He'll take his time with the Manchester City goalkeeper. And he picks it up here off Danny Welbeck. Trafford to take this. Welbeck stood on top of Trafford. Trafford sends it up and into the air. It's not a great one by Trafford, but Rayner's going to get there against Hinshaw, is he? No. Belabor in behind. Aitnuri's got to run against Minte here. Oh, Aitnuri's made a big mistake. Yakuba Minte against Kusanov. Ball into the box here. It's across the far post. That comes from James Trafford's poor kick. And his distribution really is causing City problems. And there's another problem here. And it's now for Yakuba Minte, who's got a head injury on the far side. Referee stops the game once again. Who is down on the far right here, Yakuba Minte. I'm not quite sure what his issue is, but he's holding the face here, Yakuba Minte. And the Brighton players and the medical staff look a little bit worried. I think as Aitnuri clears it. Ooh, Minte puts his head into the foot of Aitnuri. He carries on going, he puts the cross in. It's a big kick in the side of Minte's head. Totally intentional as Aitnuri goes to clear it. Minte puts his head in to win it. Gets a kick in the head of side of his head from Aitnuri. That's a sore one for Yakuba Minte, who's still down here. And I think he carries on with the move. He cuts inside. He tries to cross it in. And then he starts to feel it. And City players just come across to check on him as well. Brilliant goal, by the way, from Erling Haaland, who gambles on it going through. The acceleration of Haaland for that goal is really, really impressive. He's back on his feet, I think, Yakuba Minte. Well, Erling Haaland, after 100 Premier League appearances, has now got the most goals, 88. It's his 100th Premier League appearance. That shows his quality. Closest to him is Alan Shearer with 79. Nowhere near that of Erling Haaland. And if he stays in the Premier League for his full 10-year contract at City, he's breaking Alan Shearer's record. He's being the greatest Premier League goal scorer of all time, isn't he? Without a doubt. Drop ball to Nunez, who sends it long. 50 minutes on the clock now here. And the referee blows the half-time whistle. Manchester City lead by 1-0 at the Amex. A goal from Erling Haaland. Bursting through, very close on goal. Putting it past Verbruggen. Could have had two. A header that was a save. Verbruggen had an earlier chance as well. City lead by 1-0 till half-time. We're back for the second half after this short break. Let's hope we see more goals in the second half. And in the end, Man City with all 3 points. So talk amongst yourselves in the live chat. I'll be back after this short break.
the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. How do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. What do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so good.
cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a but I never get feelings, cause shorty, I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. At 12, gon' find your ass way in New Orleans. Watch I look beauty, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my put and put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poopy, your bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor, trying to stack my money up. Cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
Got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel like your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel that.
Too cold, standing in the middle of the downpour, looking in the mirror 'cause it's only you.
So welcome back to the second half. Manchester City versus Brighton. City lead by 1-0 thanks to a goal from Erling Haaland, who pounced on a little toe poke through the legs of Lewis Dunk by Marmoush, close to the goalkeeper of Verbruggen, and there was Erling Haaland, blistering pace over a short distance, pounced on it, put it past Verbruggen. City had more chances, Haaland had a chance as well, a header that was saved by Verbruggen. He had a chance that was a bit of a tame effort towards them as well. Brighton have had a few chances as well, but they've been pretty poor in that first half. The kickoff is underway, second half is underway. Brighton versus Manchester City. Well, 56% of you guys are correct in saying that Haaland would score the first goal today. Manchester City versus Brighton. And we're going to start a new poll for this second half. Who will score the next goal, if there is one? And we're going to go Haaland again. We're going to go Marmoush, because he's been quite lively today. And then we're going to have two Brighton players. Kickoff Imminent, I think, has been really good, actually, so far in that first half. And Danny Welbeck as well. So who will score next goal? You guys can get yourselves voting in the live chat as the second half is underway here. And Lewis Dunk goes all the way back towards Bart Verbruggen. They haven't started well here today at all, Brighton. They've been pretty sloppy. City haven't really capitalised on those situations with a chance to do here today. Danny Welbeck, a lovely little backheel towards Mitoma, whose touch is heavy. And Rodri takes it away and takes everything out of it. Back to Matheus Nunes. Wide to Bernardo Silva. Back to Nunes again by Bernardo. Nicely done by Manchester City. I tell you what, we've missed Rodri because he has been by far, I believe, the best player on the field for City today. I generally do. Trafford sends this one long as James Trafford up towards Erling Haaland against Lewis Dunk, who heads it down to Bernardo Silva. Oscar Bob can't win the header. Bernardo gets it on the chest. He's running, chasing down Hinchelwood. Verbruggen goes back towards Hinchelwood. Should have done better there, Bernardo Silva, really, with the header. Try and head it through to Erling Haaland, maybe get him something on the turn so he can get through himself. I am a goalkeeper 2K rated. Well, that is a long username. It says, come on, City. And Jeremiah says, City will win. I hope you're right. Long ball forward. Kusanov leaves it, and it's behind for a throw in for City on this far side. Right, Nuri short to Marmoush. Reinders. Bernardo Silva. Under pressure, but he does well back towards Kusanov. I actually feel a lot safer with Kusanov at the back line. You always feel like Kusanov, no matter what will happen, he's going to catch them anyway. He'll do everything to make the tackle. And he does make you feel quite safe in that back line. Aboukadir Kusanov. And that is a little bit worrying for Ruben Diaz, who I'm sure will end up starting anyway when John Stones eventually gets injured. Trafford. Good pass to Bernardo, who turns the trouble with Mitoma. He's fouled here. Now should play it quickly. He does do to Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob for Manchester City. Bob still. Got to the right of him, Matheus Nunes. Plays a ball through to Marmoush. Marmoush on the strike here. It's deflected by Van Hecker. And into the hands of Verbruggen. I don't think Marmoush shot there. I don't think he hit it with any venom. He's trying to drag it across the box to Erling Haaland. But a good run by Marmoush through the middle. Good find by Oscar Bob. And Marmoush isn't shooting. I think he's trying to pull it back. Maybe to Reinders on the edge of the box. Mitoma, De Kuiper. Into Hinchelwood, and well read by Stones, back to goalkeeper James Trafford. Here's John Stones, chased by Danny Welbeck. Nunes. Ball in towards Haaland. Rodri. Space right near at that left-hand side if Rodri can find him. Marmoush on the turn here. More space for Reinders. Tajani. Back to Rodri. Here is Reinders again. Right, Nuri. Back in towards Kusanov. I really like the left-hand side of Marmoush drifting inside, very, very much inside, and then Ait Nuri holding the width on the left-hand side. That's worked really well today. I don't think Ait Nuri's had a particularly amazing game. I think he's made quite a few mistakes. I think defensively he looks a bit suspect. Offensively he's not quite been in the right place the right time. Marmoush here. Done well again here, Marmoush. Pulled down by Minte. He's very, very strong, isn't he, Omar Marmoush? I would wish the Marmoush should pass the ball more, says Chris. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance there as well, where Ait Nuri's made that running behind, but Marmoush decides to keep hold of it. And he's done that a few times today, frustratingly. Stones back to Trafford under a bit of pressure here. Trafford sends it long again. Nearly finds Haaland. Van Hecker away. Hinchelwood back down. Oh, De Kuiper it is. That was a good chance there for City. Long again from Brighton. Dealt with by Matheus Nunes. Goes around Mitoma with great skill and pace into Haaland. Rodri. Oh, ball through to Reina's unlucky. Rodri felt like he was fouled by Lewis Dunk. Referee says no, that was a good chance for City actually. Mitoma back, he gives it straight away to Oscar Bob. And here's Oscar Bob on the counter for City. And City have a chance here. Bob still. Bob. Straight into the keeper, should do better. Forgot the ball there with him, the Norwegian. That was a great chance for City. And Nunez there against Hinshelwood. He forced him to run out of play for a throw-in for City, but Oscar Bob should do better there. Well, Hinshelwood there just gets a little push from Bernardo Silva. There's been a bit of an edge on this game, hasn't there, which is a bit surprising. We know there's a bit of a history between Van Hecker and Erling Haaland, but all around the field there's been frustration maybe between the players. Kusanov. Marmoush. He's just done so well to hold up the ball again there, Marmoush, under a lot of pressure. Reinders. Bernardo Silva. Right towards Omar Marmoush. Matheus Nunes. Bernardo Silva again here. Nunes once again. Reinders. Back wide right towards Nunes. John Stones, who's playing very high up now alongside Kusanov Rodri. Nunes. Infield. Back to Stones, well played. There's loads of space right Nuri in the far left-hand side. Minte's got to get back now into that position. It's a little bit too late to find Ait Nuri. Someone's got to be able to clip that ball in behind towards Ait Nuri. Reinders. Ait Nuri. Reinders again. If someone could clip that ball in behind, Minte, as much as he is a good defender, he's working hard to get back. I do feel like there's some issues around maybe his ability to... Ait Nuri gives it away again there. That's poor Ait Nuri. I mean, he made the tackle for the goal, Ait Nuri, which was impressive. But I think he's been sloppy in possession. Defensively, he's made a few mistakes. He's given the ball away a few times. But that being said, the goal doesn't happen without Ait Nuri's sliding challenge. Van Hecker. Baleba. Van Hecker. Hinshelwood clips it in behind. Rodri wins the header. Marmoush is there. Marmoush clips it into Haaland. High. Haaland tries to knock it back down to Marmoush. Just doesn't get to him. A little bit too far for Baleba. Past Rodri. And Baleba with the ball out wide here towards Mitoma. Very good player, Baleba, isn't he? Very, very, very good player. Here is the keeper. Baleba. Under a bit of pressure here, but he still keeps the ball. Dunk here. Back towards Verbruggen. A lot is played for the Brighton goalkeeper, and he works it right here. So Veltman. Into Gomez, who seems to have handled that ankle injury. Wide to Mitoma, who takes it away from Matheus Nunes here. Nunes out to him. Mitoma. Drop of the shoulder inside, little back into the keeper. Bernardo Silva comes out with a sliding challenge into the keeper. Working hard is Bernardo Silva. And he fouls the keeper. It's a free kick. It's very stupid from Bernardo Silva there. You can see what the keeper's trying to play for there. He's trying to play for the free kick. Bernardo's runs straight in the back of him. It's obvious. Foolish by Silva, says Chris. Yeah. You know exactly what the keeper is going to do in that position. And as the captain, a little bit more experience from Bernardo Silva, there's no need to do that. He's going nowhere. He's got his back to, he's back into the corner flag. The City give away a set-piece situation now by the captain. And that means Brighton can get those bigger players like Van Hecker. Lewis Dunk will attack it. I mean, James Trafford, 6'6". Expecting to be strong in the air to come and claim this one if it comes anywhere near him. Talk between the number 29 and 25, the keeper, and Gomez here. Who's to take this one? Will it be an in-swinger or an out-swinger? I'm sure Manchester City will know. They should have worked on set pieces before this game. The keeper in at the near post. It's across the box. It's flicked by Hinshelwood in towards Veltman and behind for a goal kick. He didn't know anything about it, Joel Veltman. As it's flicked on by Jack Hinshelwood, who's actually quite a good header of the ball. It just hits Veltman in the chest and behind for a goal kick. Easy one for City to deal with. They get away with it. Well, 60% of you guys voting that Haaland's going to be the one to score a game to make it 2 Manchester City. Not a Brighton player making it 1-1. Long and away towards Van Hecker. Haaland just can't outdo him there. Taken on the chest by Lewis Dunk. Baleba. The keeper. You can pass it to Baleba under pressure. He's always going to control it. He's always going to make something of it. Well, with the ball in behind here. Kusanov. Trouble for City. Kusanov taken down. A foul on Kusanov by Gomez. who still took it round the goalkeeper and put it in the back of the net for the chance that VAR might change their decision, but the referee's already blown the whistle. Look, Kusanov quicker and stronger. Good ball by Welbeck. He beats Gomez to it. He just takes Kusanov down. He just kicks the heels of Kusanov. Kusanov's always beaten to it. Referee can see that. Free kick Manchester City. And Trafford to take the free kick for Manchester City. He's taking his time here, Trafford, and the fans aren't so happy at Brighton. Rodri takes it instead and passes it right to Reyners. I mean, just give the ball to Rodri. And trusting Rodri to do whatever he wants to do. Bernardo, Rodri, Marmoush, Kusanov, Rodri. And he switched it to Nunes. What a player Rodri is, I'm telling you. We know how good he is, but we've just missed him so much. He's unbelievable. Mateus Nunes, Bernardo Silva. Bring the ball forward for City. Nunes. Bernardo. I mean, the Rangers very much plays a sort of do what you want role. He's not confined to the left half space, the right half space. He plays wherever he feels he should be going. A lot of trust in him from Pep Guardiola. Rodri. Bob. Just pulled down by Mitoma here, Oscar Bob. Bob just flicks it round him. Mitoma grabs him and just pulls him straight to the turf. Free kick Manchester City. No intention at all there of playing the ball. Bob back to Bernardo. Rodri. Kusanov. Into Marmoush. Back towards Stones. Kusanov's been great as well today so far. Been impressed by him. Bernardo Silva. Nunes. Back to Bernardo. Back to Stones and in towards Mateus Nunes. He's going to drive this ball forward for City here. Nunes gets running. Nunes wide to Oscar Bob. Against the Kuiper. Oscar Bob. Bob. One way then the other. Bob still. Bob still. Bob still. Bob still. Bob still in the box. Turns and cleared away. And there's a Brighton player down now holding his head. Joel Veltman. Well, he's holding something anyway, Veltman here. I'm not exactly sure what. It'll be beautiful play from Oscar Bob. He's just, you know, the touches he takes around players trying to get through to score a goal. Just turns. Eventually it's taken off him by the Brighton player. Maybe does a little bit too much. But good work from Oscar Bob. It's one of those players you just can see. He'll dribble through a situation, no problem. Just went to pull it back to Haaland and couldn't get it back to him. Joel Veltman there, he's feigning injury, claiming that Erling Haaland's elbowed him in the back of the head when he really, really hasn't. And it's cheating by the Dutchman. Stones takes this one back to Rodri and back into Nunes. And back he goes to James Trafford. Long by the number one. Straight onto the boot of Marmoush. Brilliant pass. Brilliant take by Marmoush. Marmoush for City here. Reinders. Rodri. Bernardo Silva. City work it wide right towards Nunes here. Back to John Stones. Reinders. Nunes. Bernardo Silva. Into this wide area towards Oscar Bob. Back to Bernardo. Stretching this Brighton defence. Bernardo with a poor pass. Off Hinshelwood. Is it a throw-in for City or Brighton? He's given it Brighton's way. Bernardo Silva makes a sliding challenge. And Brighton are going to make 4 changes here. James Milner, Gruder, Yassi Ayari and Jorginho Ruta as well. 4 changes for this Brighton side. And Ruta actually wears number 10 this season. He won the number 14 last year. Haaland down towards Reinders. Trouble for Brighton here. Reinders over to Bob here. Oscar Bob! And good chance. Verbruggen gets there. Reinders went for the reverse pass. Should he just gone to Marmoush? Followed by Brighton. Kusanov through Yakuba Minte. Absolutely brilliant by Kusanov. The guy is fantastic. He has to start more games. Haaland miscontrols it. Still works it wide to Marmoush here. Marmoush across the box. Oscar Bob! Oh, missed the sitter. Should be 2. What a chance for Oscar Bob. He should make it 2. Hounding to Marmoush, across the box, the outside of the boot. Oh, Oscar Bob's got to score there. He really has got to score there. What a ball by the outside right boot of Omar Marmoush, and Oscar Bob's got to score. He's got to score there, Oscar Bob. Can you add Milner to your list of second goal scorers, says Chris? Written in the stars, some might say, might they? So it's Belaber off, and on comes... I'm not sure who that came on then. Hinshelwood off as well. 4 changes, a bit hard to keep up with, isn't it? So Belaber's come off anyway. Hinshelwood's come off. Gomez has come off, and Welbeck's come off. They're the 4 changes. So Belaber, Gomez, Welbeck, and Hinshelwood replaced by Ruta, Gruder, Milner, and Ayari as well. Interesting from Fabian Herzler. Early changes. I mean, to take Belaber off is a big decision, I think. Goal kick Brighton. If Bob scores that and makes it 2, it could be game over. Roger into Bernardo Silva, well played again. Bernardo. Reinders. Ait Nuri down this left-hand side. Ait Nuri. Cross comes in, it's blocked away, it's poor by Ait Nuri. Minte with a little turn in the centre, and he's worked it wide to Mitoma here. And City in a lot of trouble, and City trying to get back here. Mitoma through to Minte. Kusanov slides in, big save by James Trafford. Good save by Trafford, who keeps it at 1-0. Akuma Minte played in by Mitoma after a poor cross from Ryan Nuri. Flying in is Kusanov. Ready to crush Minte if that's what he has to do. Minte goes down the middle and Trafford palms it over the bar. Yeah, Trafford's done very good since the last game. He's made 2 big saves today. 2 very good saves today. There's James Trafford. Corner ball, Ayari to take it. He wants this number 1 shirt. He's got it, Trafford, but he wants to be the number 1. Not just in shirt, but also in starting position. Cross comes in. Headed away by Nunez. Mitoma flicks it back in around the far post. Kusanov heads it away well. Bernardo Silva with Marmoush. Well won by Milner. James Milner, who will, of course, make lots of fouls and make some dirty challenges at nearly 40 years of age now. The former Manchester City, Leeds, Villa and Liverpool man. At the go here towards Dunk. Veltman. Milner playing holding midfield. Milner. Gruder. He's a tricky player, the German. Big money spent by Brighton to bring him in. Veltman. Right here with a challenge, good tackle. Ruta uses the body well. Marmoush makes a tackle on him. 3 City players in there for the tackle. Back to Ruta. Kusanov attacking it. Kusanov flies in for a challenge here. Kusanov doesn't touch Minte. I think he's going to yellow card here, Kusanov. I don't think he even touched Minte there. He's going to get a yellow card here, Kusanov. I don't think he even touched Minte, did he there, Kusanov sliding in? Does he even touch Minte here? Does he even touch him? Does he even touch Minte here? Oh, he slightly touches the toes of him. Fabian Herzler, it's a red card according to Fabian Herzler. Everything's a red card according to Fabian Herzler. Unless his players do it, then it's okay. Yellow card for Kusanov. He's been good today. He's very aggressive. That's the way he plays the game. I didn't think that's that bad of a challenge, really. He hardly touched him. Cross to come in here. Set piece opportunity for Brighton. City could get punished by it. Have to be careful. Van Hecker is still in an offside position. I'm sure he'll step up just before the free kick is taken. Cross is lofted to the far post. Lewis Dunk is there off Nunez's hands. Penalty Brighton. Well, Mateus Nunes is known to make mistakes, isn't he? And he's made another one here. And it's always Mateus Nunes, unfortunately. Penalty Brighton. Hits the arm of Mateus Nunes. It's close to his body. It's from close range. Is Lewis Dunk pulled down Bernardo Silva, though? Does Lewis Dunk pull down Bernardo Silva here? I mean, what can Nunes do there? They'll give a penalty. His arm is up above his head, Matheus Nunes. I mean, it's a bit harsh because it's so close to him. But I'm sure they'll give it. I am pretty sure they'll give it. About 2 yards away from Nunes. He slams it into his hands. A penalty Brighton. And the VR are checking this. I don't know why it's taking so long. Just deciding whether it is or it isn't. It's in very close proximity, isn't it? And they've given it as a penalty. Well, there you are. City throwing away the game. Not so far into the second half. And it's going to be James. Oh, it's going to be James Milner. How did Chris know? Chris said put James Milner as your goal scorer. James Milner. Well, hopefully James Trafford can save it, but I don't think he will. Milner's very good at penalties, isn't it? This is going to be 1-0 Brighton. 1-0 in the second half. It's going to be 1-1. Milner scored 5 of his last 5 penalties. Milner against James Trafford. Come on, James. This would be a big, big moment for James Trafford if he saved a James Milner penalty. Not long liked amongst the City fans, is he, James Milner? Very harsh penalty. Milner to take it. But, I mean, you can't put your hands up like that, Matheus Nunes. You really can't. I'm sure this will go in. But you never know. Come on, Trafford. Milner against Trafford. James Milner dispatches James Trafford the wrong way. 1-1. And there we go. 1-1. A goal for Brighton. A goal for James Milner, former Manchester City man. And Brighton are back in it. And from absolutely nothing. From absolutely nothing. Brighton get back in it. Frustrating, very, very frustrating. Nunes, his hands up. It's a penalty, isn't it? It's a penalty. It was always going to be a penalty. Always going to be a penalty. And City have got it all to do now. Kusanov, well played. Rangers, City have got to get going now. Bob, that miss is going to be massive. Ain't near the ball forward. Tackle by Veltman throwing to City. Need to pick up the intensity down Manchester City. We're looking at dropping points once again. Rodri White and Nunes, who always seems to be the one to make the mistake, doesn't he? Rodri gives it away. He goes and wins it back. Clattered into free kick City. Foul by Ayari. But he always is Matheus Nunes. Always is Matheus Nunes, isn't it? Well, Milner scores the goal, as expected. Free kick Manchester City, though, here for a foul on Rodri. And City have got to come back into this now. Got to come back into this now with quality. We've got the quality. I mean, Oscar Bob should have scored. It's time for, Oiling Carlin, Omar Mamouche. Those players to step up to Gianni Reinders possibly as well. Free kick Manchester City. To be swung in by Reinders. In by Reinders. Straight into the hands of Verbruggen. Not a single City player attacked it. And Brighton were poor in that first half. I mean, City by far the better team. I don't think Brighton have been much better than City in the second half. Ait Nuri is having a shocker. Poor again by Ait Nuri. He's going to get a yellow card here, Ait Nuri. He's had a really bad game. He's had a really, really bad game, Ait Nuri. He made the tackle for the goal. But he's been weak again there. Completely outdone by Jorginho Ruta there. Ait Nuri. Long by Brighton. Gets overpowered by Ruta. Ends up taking him down. And City have completely lost control of this game now. And if I were Pep Guardiola, I'll be looking to the bench and maybe looking at someone who can make an impact offensively. Maybe someone who can have a bit of control as well. Do we have that on the bench, though? Do we have that on that City bench? I think the most controlling players are on that field now. And the three that we see in the midfield in Reinders, Rodri and Bernardo Silva. Could it be Ilkay Gundogan that comes on? I think that wouldn't be a sort of change we're looking for him to make. Doku for Bob, perhaps? I mean, fullback-wise, we can't, you know, Aitnuri's struggling. We ain't got anyone else who can play left-back other than Ake, and that really does nullify us offensively. And Matheus Nunes, you're not going to bring Rico Lewis on a crossing by Brighton. It's the far post. It's left by City. All the way out for a goal kick. But Brighton could get back into this in terms of winning this one. I just don't know what Matheus Nunes is doing with his hands. I just don't know what he's doing with his hands. And Lewis Dunk there, as he scored the penalty, he didn't look anywhere. He didn't celebrate Lewis Dunk. He just looked at Erling Haaland. I don't know if he was trying to rub it in. On by James Trafford towards Marmoush, who tries to head it away and gives it straight back to Brighton. City seem to have lost this game massively at the moment. For Bruggen. De Kuiper. Brighton have got their momentum swinging in their favour. Lewis Dunk sends on long in behind here. Aitnuri's not tracking. It's Kusanov against Gruder. Kusanov stays with him. Minte. Nutmegs Aitnuri. Minte! Minte! Oh, just past the post. What a goal that would have been. Rian Aitnuri's really, really struggling today. Yakubu Minte, a little nutmeg on the left back. Then he's round him. Then he drops the shoulder past Rodri. Pulls the trigger. Drags it just past James Trafford's post. What a chance. What a goal that would have been by Yakubu Minte. City have completely lost this game. Completely. And City do make a change. It is Omar Marmoush. We did say perhaps Jeremy Doku. Omar Marmoush replaces Jeremy Doku. And Nico O'Reilly replaces Bernardo Silva. Interestingly, O'Reilly ahead of Lewis and Gundogan in the pecking order in midfield. So on comes O'Reilly, on comes Doku for City. Well, Arsenal-Liverpool later as well. That's going to be an exciting one. A double change for Pep Guardiola, hopefully. That's a change that can make an impact for this team. Long by Brighton, up by City up towards Haaland, who managed to control it away. Aitnuri second to it, slammed into by Yakubu Minte. Spent a lot of time getting fouled here, Aitnuri, or being late to the ball and so on. He's really struggled. Trafford throws it out towards Nunes. Bad pass to Reinders, who still managed to make the most of it. Reinders past Mitoma. Reinders great pass into O'Reilly. Terrible touch by City's midfielder. Gives it away. Doku space on the left-hand side. And his touch lets him down. And he wants to play first team football for Manchester City. It's got to be better than that. Nunes. In trouble again here. Ruta goes and takes it off him. And Mitoma into the middle. And trouble for City again here. Gruder. Gruder still. Gruder throws himself to the floor. And City get it back. They want a second penalty. Here is Nico O'Reilly. Wide to Jeremy Doku. And it's Veltman. Back towards Aitnuri. Gruder's still rolling around on the floor here as if he's broke his leg. And they want a penalty, Brighton, for this one. The German going down. Did anything happen here? There's a touch on Gruder's foot, but there's nothing Kusanov can do about that. Nothing he can do about that. I mean, there's nothing Kusanov can do about that. He's just stepping down. Gruder's gone down. Yeah, but that's how it is. So it's a drop ball. It's a City ball. Referee says, yeah, nothing in it. Nothing in it, obviously. We need to create more chances. We need to score more goals. Here's James Trafford for City. To Kusanov. Long forward towards Erling Haaland. It's straight to Van Hecke. Oh, City's press. Beaten again. Milner in behind and straight through to Trafford. Get a hold of this game, City. I mean, Brighton have had more possession. Brighton have been the better team. since that penalty. Rodri. O'Reilly, good turn by Nico. Wide to Jeremy Doku. Come on, Doku. Doku for City. Jeremy Doku. Reinders. Rodri. Nunes. This is where you need Oscar Bob to step up. The problem is I don't... Other than Erling Haaland here, we've took Marmouche off. Who's going to score here? Who's going to score? There's not... Other than... I know Reinders gets goals from midfield, but there's only Haaland who looks like scoring here. I don't see anyone else scoring. Stones back to Trafford, pressed by Garuda. Trafford to Rodri. Just so good. You never panic when Rodri's on the ball. Neither's Rodri. Reinders. What a ball to Rodri. Switch of play to Oscar Bob. That's brilliant from City. Let's get going here. Bob in that wide right area now. Haaland drifts to that far post. Someone needs to make the run to the front post. Bob. Oscar Bob for City. Bob against the Kuiper. Bob goes past him. Ito makes a sliding challenge. Brighton get it away. People lined up there. Bob had to find someone in the box, really. Here's Gruder. Back they go. Those changes have made a big impact for Brighton. I think Jorginho Ruta really has. The ring gives it away to Rodri. Doku. O'Reilly. Late challenge on Doku here. They play on. O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly hits one here. Behind for a corner. And there's going to be a yellow card here for Velton for challenging Jeremy Doku there. We've seen this kind of knacker changing promising transition into nothingness by making poor decisions as Chris yet. When you think that City could get a chance on the counter, they just don't seem to capitalise upon it. 76 minutes in the clock here at the Amex. At the moment, it looks like the points will be shared between City and Brighton. James Milner's all over Erling Haaland here in the box. Mitoma's pushing Haaland as well. Haaland tells Mitoma where to go. Cross comes in. Haaland with a header! Over the bar by Erling Haaland. Stone's been pulled down as well. Erling Haaland there being pushed and pulled over, and long by Verbruggen. And Trafford lumps it back away. Is it a throw-in for Brighton or a retake of the goal kick here? He took the goal kick quickly there, Brighton. James Trafford with a first time sliced volley into the stands. It's a ball behind the Kuiper here. He's seen it. The Bruggen to take the goal kick again now. Clips into the Kuiper. Matheus Nunes wins the header. Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob. Against the Yari, who takes it off Oscar Bob, and Oscar Bob kicks him. It's a free kick Brighton. Well, the game's become scrappy, and City have lost control of it. Absolutely. And West Ham and Forest are still battling it out. Callum Wilson off the bench, who's had a strike saved by the goalkeeper Matt Sells. A really good chance, actually, for West Ham. Off a deflection from Mourinho. More exciting things going on at the City ground currently. Although it is 0-0 there as well, all level. James Trafford. Out left to Kusanov. Rodri. Forward to O'Reilly, who struggled again there, Nico O'Reilly. And hasn't made much think since he's come on here. Minte against O'Reilly. He's won it back. Is a foul that's gone Brighton's way here. For Doku on Minte. I'm not quite sure what he did there, Jeremy Doku, apart from get his body in the way. And Brighton take it quickly. And here's James Milner. And Milner. Ruta. To Mitoma. Mitoma looks to bend one. Nunes makes a block. And Brighton very much in this one now. Brighton the better side of Yari. Lewis Dunk. Feels like the wind has been completely sucked out of City's sails completely. Just nothing at all. Gruder against Aitnuri. Aitnuri makes the challenge. He's pulled back here by Gruder. Free kick Manchester City. City look to take that free kick a little bit quickly, but they can't. Minte's across. Aitnuri being told to go further back now by Darren England. And Kusanov will take it. It looks like City are going to drop points here. Where are the goals coming from? No Savinho in that City squad. No Shirky, no Foden. Where are the goals coming from? Long by Kusanov, sends one towards Erling Haaland here. Pushing the back by Lewis Duncan. Haaland, no free kicks to the referee. Van Hecke, lumped away by Veltman. Stones down to Rodri and O'Reilly. Rodri back into O'Reilly. Here's Nico O'Reilly for Manchester City. Here's Jeremy Doku. Rodri. Reinders. Need to get him on the ball more. Reinders clattered into. Brilliant skill by Reinders. Then wide to Oscar Bob. Nunes. Play it! So he should have played Reinders there. Then wide to Bob instead. Bob, right foot crossing his poor. Behind for a goal kick. Really poor from Oscar Bob. Right footed cross. Puts it straight into the stands. Terrible from Bob. Should do so much better. Well, Crescencio Somerville is back for West Ham. And he's just set up Gerard Bowen to give West Ham the lead here over Nottingham Forest. That could be Nuno Espirito. Santo getting sacked by Marinakis. Good goal from Bowen, edge of the box. What a finish. Really good finish by Gerard Bowen. And Brighton on the attack against City. The chance down this right-hand side. And a shot at James Trafford. He's straight to Trafford by Rutter. Never going to cause him any trouble. Trafford needs to be quicker here. He's up to the 8 seconds. Rodri. Back to Trafford. Clears it away forward. O'Reilly can't get there. Milner outdoes him. Ball through here all the way through towards Trafford here. City struggling. City just can't find that way. Rodri. Rodri just holds off another Brighton player. Clips it in towards Tijani Reinders. Can City get this ball forward? Reinders. Reinders still. Reinders clattered into it from behind by Mitoma. Referee says no foul. Verbruggen plays it short towards Van Hecke. And Ayari. And wide to Veltman. And on to Yakuba Minte. Against Kusanov. Got to be careful in the yellow card. Kusanov, Minte. Inside by Minte. Across to Mitoma. Flicked onto Rutter and just dealt with by City. James Trafford just clears it straight back to the opposition again. Bob leaves it. Lewis Dunk there, headed back towards the Kuiper. City have completely lost this game here. Completely lost this game. And it looks like Brighton could be the side to go on and win it out of the two. Ayari. Forward here. Gruder. Gruder hits one here. Saved by Trafford. On the first half, City had 7 shots to Brighton's 1. In the second half, Brighton have had 6 and now 7 attempts to City's 3. And that, you can feel the difference between the two teams. And Kusanov has gone down now for Manchester City. It looks like an injury for the defender. I'm not quite sure what Kusanov has done here. Well, that is a worry. He's had a good game today, Kusanov. Have to see. Well, they're having a bit of a talk here with Kusanov. He's holding the knee here, I think, Kusanov. What's going to happen? Well, City are readying some changes. I'm not overly excited by the changes, to be honest with you. It's going to be Rico Lewis of Manchester City. Rico Lewis coming on. Who's he going to come on for? So Nunes comes off at right back and Rico Lewis comes on. That could be a massive mistake by Manchester City. Because Mitoma against Lewis, I don't think could end well. Especially the game has become a little bit physical. Nunes has struggled with the physicality of it. So Matheus Nunes off. Rico Lewis on. And Abakir Kusanov off. Ruben Diaz on. So Kusanov is forced off due to possible injury. He's replaced by Diaz. And Lewis is off as well. Well, big mistake by Mario at the back, by the way, at the City ground for Forest. Somerville pounced upon the loose ball. He's taken down in the box by Sangare, and it's a penalty West Ham United. Maybe West Ham's season starts today. Sangare leaves the leg out. Somerville goes over it. Penalty West Ham. And up step Lucas Paquetá to roll it in for 2-0 West Ham United. And Lucas Paquetá, celebration for West Ham, pretends to hear the phone call, throws the phone call away, and then kisses the West Ham United badge. I think that tells you all you need to know about where he's going. Absolutely nowhere. Free kick Brighton here for a foul by Oscar Bob. The Kuiper over it. 5 minutes remain. And I'm worried there's only one side that'll get the win here. A draw today would mean City start the season with a win, a loss and a draw. Experiencing everything they can do at the start. The Kuiper's over this one. Options in the box like Lewis Dunk, Van Hecker. I mean, Brighton's chance where they got a penalty came from a set-piece situation. De Kuiper. A push on Lewis Dunk by Ruben Diaz. They've been pushing the City players around the box. The referee suddenly found an issue with it when City are pushing the Brighton players. Erling Haaland's being pushed and pulled all over the place just because he's a big man that gets nothing given. In by De Kuiper. It's a very strange cross. It's all the way out for a goal kick. Massively overhit by the Belgian. Massively overhit. And it's a goal kick Manchester City. Well, City look like they're not going to get the 3 points here today. Thought City would score more goals, but we seem to be lacking in that area of the pitch. Long by Trafford up to Haaland, who does win the header. Flicks it onto Ait-Nouri. He's in there against Minte. And City give it away again. Ait-Nouri's on the floor, and there's a counter for Brighton. Mitoma shows it towards Stones here. Wide towards Gruder with a great block by Diaz. Diaz not happy with one of the City players. I'm not exactly sure who. Brighton are pushing for that winner. Throwing to Rutter here. Off Ait-Nouri. Behind for a corner. Rutter wins a corner here for Brighton. He's getting the fans to get up. Motivating this Brighton team. 87 minutes on the clock. Brighton corner to be taken by De Kuiper. To be swung in. Van Hecker at the far post. Lewis Dunk in the centre circle. Rutter next to him. Yakubu Minte short. Milner, Mitoma and Ayari queued up on the edge of the box. In the ball comes. Header by Dunk. Chance of Van Hecker! What a save by Trafford! Back in by Dunk away with Ait-Nouri. And caught again by Trafford. He's pulled down by Van Hecker. Massive save from James Trafford. Big save by James Trafford. Big save by James Trafford. Just manages to palm it away from the goal, this Trafford. Really good save. Save City there. Had a really good game, Trafford, today. Ball forward, Stones cuts it out. Oh, and City in trouble here. And Rutter and Mitoma. And Gruder's through 1-on-1. It's out of Gruder. And Brighton win it to the death. They've done it again. Manchester City fail again. And in the second half, Brighton go and take the game. Capitulate since their goal. Long hard season, clueless, says Chris. Capitulation by Manchester City. They have looked a completely different side since the penalty. And that's how it goes. The ball through's too easy. Ait-Nouri can't make the challenge. Trafford's beaten. Diaz doesn't make the block. It's 2 on Brighton. They've done it again. And Manchester City have been absolutely terrible in this second half. Absolutely terrible. City not good enough. And they punish for it. And it's literally just like last year's performance at Brighton. City first half amazing. Should have scored more goals. We don't. And the second half, we completely lose it. And that was it. That was it. And Manchester City have brought this amongst themselves. Celebration for the Brighton players. Great first half, terrible second half. And how does City get back from this now? I don't know how many added minutes there'll be, but there won't be enough. It's Doku. Doku trying to get into the box here. Minte away. A big lot of space for Rico Lewis to run into. He's in a foot race with Mitoma. Mitoma comes through the back of Rico Lewis here. Throwing Manchester City. Well, 9 added minutes here at the Amex, but City don't like they're coming back. And West Ham have got another goal at City ground. It's Forest 0, West Ham 3, and Callum Wilson gets his first West Ham United goal. Wow. Who'd have thought that one? O'Reilly. Don't think he's been particularly good since he's come on here. Right, Newry. Ruben Diaz. Rico Lewis. There's no use passing backwards, by the way, City, at 91 minutes when you're 2-1 down, but you continue to do that. Brighton, better side, second half. They scored their chances. City don't. Rodri. Rico Lewis. Oscar Bob. John Stones. Oscar Bob again. Back to Stones. Well, Oscar Bob had a great chance that he missed. Should have scored. Should have scored. Here's Stones. City's passing it around the back line here. Ryan Newry. Wide left to Jeremy Doku. Skips past Kuba Minte. And Minte holds him off easy. And Doku's terrible at the moment. That is so poor from Doku. An absolute waste of time, Jeremy Doku there. Well, Gruder there. Getting his goal. He drops Trafford and Newry. It's a good goal. Brilliant. City very, very, very frustrating. Ah, well, that's how it goes, isn't it? That's how it goes, City. No surprises, really. O'Reilly to Doku. Tries to spin Veltman. Throwing Brighton's way. Doku's been terrible since he's come on. Thanks to the great commentary, MK's give up. I mean, there's 5 minutes left, but MK said, yeah, it's over. No changed attitude since going behind. Slow and ponderous. No urgency to Chris yet. As soon as Brighton scored, that was it. Game over. As soon as Brighton scored the first goal, City just accepted they were going to lose the game. It was very strange. O'Reilly trying to win the ball back in midfield. Diaz can't. Mitoma. Here's Ruta up against John Stones. Jorginho Ruta. Ruta. Cross towards Kuiper. In behind towards Mitoma. Away by Newry. Straight back to Brighton. Bob. Lewis. I mean, after such a good first half performance, this second half performance has been terrible. Rico Lewis too slow and cleared away by Brighton. I mean, the transfer window ends tomorrow. We've got no physicality in midfield. No right back. And no goal scoring forward. I mean, do you think that City are going to pull 3 signs out the hat on deadline day? I don't think so. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Well, Kuba Minte is down here now, which will waste a bit of time for Brighton. They don't need to slow City down anymore. They're slow enough already. Coppola's going to come on now, a big Italian centre-back, number 42 for Brighton. Try and shore things up at the back for them. So change for Brighton. Kuba Minte comes off for Coppola. I think Diaz is, well, there's more at the City ground here. I think West Ham could have made it 4. The Forest fans are gone, by the way. The ground is absolutely empty. On the counter, Bowen past Milenkovic. What a goal by Jared Bowen. Oh, it's not. Wilson took it off him. Bowen just nearly scored a Messi-esque goal there. He's run through about 10 players. He's frustrated with himself. He should have been fought. Saved by Matt Sells. So here comes Coppola. Not the man who made the Godfather films. Goal kick from City sent away by James Trafford. There's no fight in this City side at all, by the way. Absolutely no fight. Rico Lewis. Lewis turns. Nice if you can play this ball forward, Rico Lewis. Ryan Ait-Nuri. Doku, who's been less than impactful so far. Oh, impactful in a negative way. Ball in by Rodgers to the far post. Here's Haaland. Haaland hits one. He's dragged it wide. Kept in by Doku. Doku for City. Can he create something? Doku. Rodri. Rodri the cross in. Headed by Reinders! Wide by Tajani Reinders. Could have rescued a draw there. But the header by Reinders is wide of the post again. Oh, it comes off Van Hecke. Great defending by Van Hecke. It's going in. Van Hecke heads it away. Corner ball. There's still time. The referees give a goal kick. The referees just give a goal kick for that. Reinders heads it on towards Van Hecke. Great defending. He gives a goal kick. Full time at the City ground. Forest 0. West Ham 3. Nuno's getting sacked. His ref needs to be investigated to Scott. How was that not a corner? Van Hecke's just headed it away. Great header by Reinders. Good defending. Credit to him. And the ref gives a goal kick. Another Brighton player's down with cramp here. Wasting the time. Now Manchester City. I think that's us out. I don't think we'll be in a title race this season, Manchester City. I don't think we'll be in a title race again. Ruta. Lewis can't win it off Mitoma. Oscar Bob and Lewis do. It's back to Ruta here. It's a free hit on City's way. John Stones to Manchester City. Some attacking intent will be United. Reinders has been poor in the second half, by the way. Really poor. Here's O'Reilly. Doku. Doku for City. Reinders. Reinders shoots here. Drags it wide the post. Poor attempt by Tajani Reinders. And that's surely the last kick of the game. I think that's it. Another defeat for Pep Guardiola. 2 in a row. These are bad. Run of form starting again. Different season, same rubbish from City today. Well, that is full time. Manchester City lose by 2-1 against Brighton. A shocking second half performance. Completely opposite to what City did in the first half. Pep Guardiola refuses, I think, to shake the hand of Fabian Hürzeler. And City frustrated, City fans frustrated. That was a shocker in the second half. I don't think a single player can walk off that field, barring maybe James Trafford, and say they had a good second half performance. Trafford was good in the second half. He made a big save for us. Everyone else was shocking. Haaland was rubbish in the second half. I mean, what do these City players do? Tactically, it worked well in the first half, but I don't think it's a tactical problem. It's a mental problem. And the squad's lacking. There's nothing off the bench at all. There's no goals in this side, barring Erling Haaland. There's a lot that this side is missing. I mean, if we don't sign a right back, then there's no chance we win anything this season. And we're not signing a right back, so there's my belief of what will happen this season. Thanks for joining. We'll be back for the next away game anyway, whatever that is. Bit of an international break now, so a chance to have a bit of a break yourself. And it will be my chance for a little break. I'll get away. But we'll be back in the next game is at the Etihad, Manchester derby. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.